Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. This is Cooking with Joel. Well, it's the remodel. It's day 7. I took yesterday off just because it was really hot and there wasn't much for me to do. I did do a little bit yesterday, but nothing major. So I'm working on this area of the ceiling over here, and I'll kind of tilt you back. I just have this ceiling and over there to do. I've almost got these 2 strips done, and they're a little bit harder to get off, and they're more time consuming, so I'm gonna just let that go. Once I get this done and that side done, then the ceiling, we just need to go over the exterior where it joins with the walls and go from there. So this is gonna be a really quick video today. Normally this will be the last day that I won't be available in the evening to give you an update. So I'm coming right now to do that. I still have a little bit of paint underneath the sink, but not as much there anymore because that's predominantly done. I'm gonna work on that a little bit later, either today or tomorrow. And that's pretty predominantly it for the kitchen ceiling. Now the walls, which my husband has been putting the stucco on, is repairing. He's letting that dry because that takes about a day to fully dry before he can sand it. A little bit longer if he makes it really thick, which in some of the corners needs to be done. But the rest of the walls have pretty much been washed except for the kitchen walls. And you can kind of see the walls, and the trim around the windows haven't been washed yet either. And that's just because we still have a lot of stuff here. So I would say at the rate that I'm going, probably sometime midweek, or possibly at the beginning of next week, we'll be ready to paint the kitchen, or at least put the primer on. Now, it's going to have to go in stages because I'm going to do the ceiling first with the primer. You have to let the primer dry, then you have to paint it, let that dry, put another coat of paint on it, and there. This project, I think, is going to take 2 coats of paint for the ceiling and possibly 2 coats of paint for the walls. So that's the update for today. Oh, by the way, today is Wednesday. It's September 6th. Next Tuesday, I will be taking off from doing anything because it's my husband's birthday on the 12th. So we'll be celebrating that. And yes, you can hear Kona. He's been going nuts with singing and stuff. So anyway, that was just the update. I'll come back later once the ceiling is fully finished so you guys can see it. It is coming along. I did notice some problems with the window sill with this part of the window because it's right next to the sink and splash guards and stuff, and there's some wet wood behind it. So what I need to do is take everything out of there, let it fully dry, clean it up, and then make a decision on how we're going to proceed with painting that, because I'd like to paint that in the blue. So that'll be the next thing on the plan. So I'm going to stop the video. I'll be back later on. See you in a bit. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome back to day 7 of the remodel. It's been a week, and I have actually pretty much finished the ceiling. This strip up here looks dark, but there is no paint on it. I still have to do the underneath the sink ceiling, and that should go pretty well, but you can tell now everything except for the very edges, and I'm going to work on those. You can kind of see them over in here. I haven't been able to get that out, and that's a little bit more tricky because they put a little bit more spackle or tape or whatever they used to seal the ceiling from the drywall to the wall made it thick. So some of the paint just is really, really thick there. But you can tell now that's all gone. That's all gone. I have done a tremendous job. And I actually did surprise my husband, because my husband at one point thought that the ceiling was not going to get this good. And there are little areas that he's going to have to patch where I gouged a little bit, but it's not actually terribly bad. And it should be very, very quick, and then it just needs a sand. So now that the ceiling is done, now all I have to do, like I said, is go back around the outer edges of the wall, of the ceiling and the wall, and clean those up. And then it's basically the walls. Now, we did talk about a few different things of light fixtures in the kitchen, and one of the changes we had made, and I'm going to kind of show you where the ladders are, would be where the kitchen table is. That's going to become a ceiling fan. We've already agreed a nice ceiling fan in the kitchen would be the way to go over there. I'm going to look for one preferably in a white color versus the natural wood. I'm going to see what's out there. But the one thing we changed, and again, I'm tipping you guys over to here. This is the one that's by the stove and by the island and stuff. We decided it might be practical to take that one out and put a track lighting system in there. And my husband seemed very keen on doing that. So I think I'm going to have a track lighting over the island where it can be on dimmer, it can be bright, it can be a little bit more romantic or not as bright at night when we want to get snacks or something. So we're thinking about doing that. Let me know if you guys in your kitchens down below in the comments, if you guys have track lighting in your kitchen, what the pros and the cons are to doing that. I know one of my viewers, Don, told me, he's like, do a tin ceiling. It wouldn't be practical in the kitchen just because of how much heat goes in the kitchen, and I've seen beautiful, a matter of fact, where I live, a couple of the bars have tin ceilings. However, over years of smoking in when it was allowed to smoke in the bars, those ceilings have taken a heavy toll, and they weren't, just to do this ceiling in the kitchen, it would have been about $600 that we found out because of the square footage of the ceiling. So we're going to keep the ceiling white and hope for the best. Hopefully it won't peel, and it shouldn't peel because I did get a very good primer to prime the drywall walls. So that should be pretty good. So all in all, I will say this right now, we are up to par to being completely done with the kitchen if everything goes well by the end of September. So in October, I will go ahead and order the railing and the pantry shelves probably at the beginning of the month so that they are installed in time for the furniture to be delivered. The floor is going to be a work. I mean, it's no matter what we do to the floor, it's always going to be dirty depending on the dogs, because unfortunately this door right here is the only way that the dogs can get to and from the yard. So they have to go through the kitchen. It's just a sad reminder that that's what they have to do. But I think the kitchen is going to turn out really well. I'm kind of excited to see it in the future. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to get more great cooking videos. I will be bringing the cooking videos back up. They probably won't be up until the furniture is delivered. I'll be honest with you. I do have a few videos that are banked that I can start incorporating, but once the remodel is done, then I'll slowly get back into the cooking videos once I have the kitchen back to the way I want to have it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. There probably will not be major updates the rest of this week just because I've got to get the walls done. We've got to start taping, and we've got to clean up the rest of the spackle, and that's more on my husband than mine. So that'll probably be the rest of this week. I'll help him with that. And then when we start taping, I will be back. So I'm going to take a few days off from recording. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in tomorrow for the next kitchen remodel update.